TV studios with Terry Bell for today's community comment.
Thank you very much, Jake, and welcome everyone to today's edition of Community Comment. We're talking to our friends today from the Columbus School District, talking about everything from winter sports to career preparedness. If you have any questions or comments for our guests, you can join the conversation. You can call or text 920-887-9595, or you can call the WBEV studio line at 885-4446. A lot to get to today, but first I'd like to welcome our first guest, and that is Columbus High School Athletics and Activities Director Jay Freekring and Carly Neck. Welcome to Community Comments.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Well, it's March Madness time. Everybody is glued to all the tournaments happening at the high school and college levels, and the Cardinals have had a successful winter sports season.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the fun time of year where everybody gets to come to tournaments and support their team and celebrate all the successes that have kind of went on. We have quite a few things that happened this winter that I'd like to highlight and share.
Absolutely.
So first of all, our wrestling program had a good year. This is the first year that we split up boys and girls. That's the WIA recognizes girls wrestling as its own individual sport. So that was huge for us. We ended up with 9 girls that came out for wrestling. The prior years it was 1 or 2. So just having that split was huge. And some success that came with that is an unofficial conference tournament champion. And the reason I say that is the Capital Conference next year will start recognizing girls wrestling as a conference championship. So this year they wrestled, and we're going to call it an unofficial conference championship.
I take it then they finished with the best record.
They finished with the best record. They scored the most points at the conference tournament for all the girls that they had wrestling. So that was very exciting to see the girls and what they were able to accomplish. And it showed in the postseason awards also. We had 4 girls finish with all conference recognition. So 4 out of 9, 50%. That's pretty darn good. Mm-hmm. On the boys' side of things, they finished the season with 8 wrestlers on the boys' side of things, and they were young, and that showed a little bit. However, continued improvement. So we had 1 boy finish with all conference recognition. He made it into the 3rd round of regionals and ended up coming up a little bit short. But that was a good season for them. That's our program that's up and coming. We're putting a lot of time and effort into making them grow, giving them the support that they need so that these young kids can be successful.
I think I read somewhere that girls wrestling is the fastest growing sport for participation.
That's 100% correct. Statewide, we're talking within a 3 to 4 year window, we've went from girls having to wrestle with the boys to a singular state girls tournament to a girls sectional and girls state tournament to now this year for the first time was girls regional and sectional, because there's so many that are coming to join and participate that there's just no way to put them all in one singular state tournament.
Mm-hmm. A lot of other teams enjoying a lot of success this winter.
Yeah, absolutely. Our girls basketball program, they finished with 13 or 14 wins. That's an improvement from last year with only 10 wins last year. So they finished above 500. They finished 2nd in the conference, which is a good achievement because it's a really tough conference that we play in with many teams that have moved on that went to the sectionals that we played against. A really good competition schedule. They actually played against Fall River, who's competing right now at the state tournament. So a tough schedule combined with some good players created just a fun place to be. They won their first round game and came up a little bit short against a good Kiel team, but that some individual success there. They had 3 girls make the all-conference team, which is huge. And then our boys basketball ended up finishing 3rd in the conference, same results. First round playoff win, got to host a game, really hard fought game in the second round, came down to the last few minutes and came up unfortunately a little bit short. But once again, they ended up with 3 boys in the all conference team and just some great overall team success. Finishing a season with 19 wins is pretty darn impressive.
Absolutely. We're talking about the growth in girls wrestling. Girls hockey is also a fast-growing sport.
It absolutely is, and that's been a relatively new thing for Columbus. For those of you that are familiar, we co-op with Beaver Dam schools actually, and we had two young ladies participate for them. The Baker girls, that team as a whole had some great success this year. For those of you that follow them, they ended up losing, unfortunately, in the sectional final, but winning conference for the second year in a row and advancing that far in the tournament just makes for an awesome environment.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Anything else you'd like to mention? I see the dance team had a good season.
Dance team, that's another one that we're just trying to get kids out for and participating. It's very low key. They perform at halftime of basketball games. They had 5 girls this year that really owned it, created their own routines, put together their own music. It's really student-led. They started their youth dance clinic, which they had a phenomenal amount of girls. It was over 50 girls that showed up to learn a performance, and then they performed at halftime, and that was great to see the young ladies, elementary school, middle school kids perform.
Okay. Boys hockey, do they have their own team or do they co-op?
Boys hockey co-ops with Beaver Dam also.
Okay.
That's a running joke in Columbus because we have, I'm going to butcher the number, 8 kids from Columbus on the Beaver Dam hockey team. So they joke like, oh, should we just start calling it the Columbus hockey team? But that's another one. A rough year this year. They were young. They lost a lot of seniors the year prior, but they managed to push through. And for us in Columbus, it's about playing hard and putting forth your best effort, regardless of what the final outcome is. You put in the work, you make the effort, good things will happen.
Mm-hmm. And one boy swam this weekend.
Yeah, Finn Dominski. This is also a new co-op for us. We co-op with Beaver Dam for that as well. He had a phenomenal season, won some individual meets, had the regionals, did well at regionals, and it's new for us, so we're just learning kind of how swimming goes because we have a youth swim at our outdoor pool in Columbus, but this is the first time for the high school swim team, so we're just trying to learn kind of the ins and outs and what that looks like.
Certainly. I want to bring Carly Knack into the conversation. Carly, what sport do you play?
So I just play soccer, but I wanted to talk about FBLA and how FBLA did at RLC, the Regional Leadership Conference. So the first Saturday in February, we took a group of, I'd say, 20 students, so a relatively small group for FBLA, but we did have 6 people qualify for state. And so the second week of April, we will be taking a bus and we will be going to compete at state in Green Bay.
When is that again?
The second week of April.
Second week of April. Okay. What I think, can I have you back in a segment later in the show to talk more about that?
Yes, of course.
I think that would be fantastic.
Perfect.
Thanks. We do need to take a quick break here. We're talking to our friends at the Columbus School District here on Community Comment on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Meet Bob. edition of Community Comment on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge, presented by Professional Floor Covering.
And we are back with more community comment in the Daily Dodge TV studios. Here's Terry Bell.
Thank you very much, Jake, and welcome back, everybody, to Community Comment. We're talking with our friends from the Columbus School District about all the great things going on there. If you have any questions or comments for our guests, you can call or text 920-887-9595, or you can call the WBEV studio line at 885-4446. And we were just talking with Carly Knack a moment ago about the Future Business Leaders of America competition coming up. And tell me more about that. I'm curious. How big is the team? How many categories are there? And how'd you get involved?
Yeah, so I started with FBLA my freshman year, and I competed at RLC every single year for these 4 years, competing in various events. I tried something new every year, and there's plenty to choose from. There's over 70 events, and they vary from computer software to like more healthcare and administration, and then it can go more the marketing side, public speaking. The possibilities are kind of endless. If there's something that you're interested in, there is a way to compete in that. This year at RLC we had 6 people qualify for state, and we're Region 5. There's, I would say, about 8 regions. It's split up throughout Wisconsin, so then you compete at your regional level, and then from there, the top 3 in each event qualify for state. So we had 6 students. We had Ekin Golomsky, Kaden Noe, Michael Strava, and then Kaylee Price, Grace Felton, and then myself.
Okay, so what are you competing in?
I'm competing in impromptu speaking.
Okay, so tell me how you prepare for that.
So how that works is you get a prompt, and then you have 10 minutes with the prompt and 2 note cards and a pencil. And you just kind of go through and think about what you want to talk about, pick out your talking points, and then after the 10 minutes, the judges will come get you, and you are given a separate room, and then there's 2 judges, and you just give your 5-minute speech, and then they'll let you know when your time's up, and that's it. And then
So you have no idea ahead of time what you're
No
going
idea.
to speak about? Do you get any materials to pair with? Can you do an online search for background?
Yeah, so what
Okay.
I kind of do is I'll look up like past examples, or like talk to people and ask them, like Jamie Dam, because she had already graduated, but she did impromptu speaking for like multiple years. So I asked her what some of her prompts were, but yeah, other than that, you have no clue what it's going to be.
That's pretty exciting. How do you think that'll translate into skills that will serve you well in your career?
Yeah, I think definitely it pushes me outside of my comfort zone. I always don't, I kind of don't look forward to it, but I know that it's something that is gonna, just benefit me.
Okay, well, you're doing a great job here today.
Thank you.
Well done. We want to bring a couple more students into the conversation to talk about student-run business. And we're talking to Jacob Roach and Kayla Hartman. Welcome to Community Comments.
Thank you for having us.
Tell us about your involvement with student-run business.
I am the communications manager, so I'm kind of like the outreach, making sure every single customer is getting exactly what they need and want out of our business. We do have a set couple of projects that we can do, but we always make sure that customers know that we can, the sky's the limit for us. If they want something specific, we can get that done for them. We also go and deliver projects, but yeah, I'm kind of just the person that they reach out to for exactly what they want.
So what is this year's business? What are you selling
So we're selling custom projects. We are Cardinal Custom Creations.
Okay.
So people will reach out. For example, we've been making a lot of bags boards recently, so people can reach out and say, hey, I want a set of bags boards. I would like this design on it. Most of the time it's a Columbus design or a Wisconsin design. And Jacob's actually really heavily involved in the actual designing and manufacturing process of that, so he could talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not something like super complicated. You just go down to the wood shop and cut some boards, cut some plywood, and we have a CNC machine at the school too, so we can put whatever custom designs people want on there from whatever college they went to maybe. We can do anything. It's custom, which is kind of leaves it more open, which is a hard thing sometimes because you tell someone, well, what are you selling? And you say anything, you know, that kind of doesn't really give them an idea. So,
Okay.
but it's cool that we can, you know, do most of anything that a customer wants.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like you've already done some pretty cool projects for people around the Columbus area. You want to talk about those?
Yeah, 100%. Right now we're working on bags boards for the Mullins in town. They do a raffle every summer, which is super exciting, and we were even given the opportunity to have some creative freedom with that. The manager wanted, you know, just one customized one that he desired, and then we were able to have some freedom with that second one. But yeah, we've got to make wooden signs. We've gotten to engrave mugs for people at the district office, and it's been a lot of fun so far.
I have here in my notes that you refurbished a trailer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Our
tell me
first
about
one.
that.
That was the first project. So a customer needed their trailer refurbished. It was just a rusty trailer, needed some new wiring. And that was when we were kind of getting started. So we just kind of, everyone was in the shop and we were all just working through it. And it was different at the time because now we're a little more independent. Like a teacher will give us something and we just kind of do it or whatever. But at that time we kind of needed a little more guidance, and it was a good learning experience for our first time doing something maybe a little more simple. But yeah.
And this is for upperclassmen. This is for juniors and seniors who've completed all their career and technical education classes.
Yes.
All right, very good. We need to take a quick break for the news, but we'll be right back. You're listening to Community Comment on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
The market. Dodge TV studios with Terry Bell for more of today's community comment.
Thank you so much, Jake, and welcome back to Community Comment, everyone. We're talking with our friends at the Columbus School District today about some really exciting things happening, especially with their student-run business initiative. In a bit, we'll talk about their live stream and broadcasting program. And if you would like to join in the conversation with a question or a comment, we invite you to do so, especially if you live in the Columbus District. 920-887-9595 is the number you can call or text, or you can call the WBEV studio line at 885-4446. Probably the big project for the student-run business group this year is updating the athletic record boards of the schools. So I'm picturing a big display on a wall that we can pay tribute to some great accomplishments throughout the history of Columbus High School.
Yeah, of course. Carly and I here were given the opportunity to actually present this project to the athletic boosters here in Columbus. And it's really amazing to see it all come together, give these athletes the recognition they deserve, especially like historically throughout all of these years that Columbus has been, just really gaining prosperity in the athletic field. And it's really exciting to leave that legacy here as most of us are seniors. So it's super exciting.
Certainly. Go ahead, Carly. I'm sorry.
And so, as she said, this is kind of our big project. So, as the office manager, it's a lot more money than what we're used to. This isn't just coasters and mugs. This is, $1,000 project. And again, like she said, the Columbus Athletic Boosters, we presented to them, and they approved the funding. And so, it's all thanks to them that we have the money to go through this separate company that is going to create. We're working with them to create the boards and customize them, and then they will be shipping them anytime here now, and we can put them up.
That's great. What I find really interesting about the student-run business program is that it really is run like a business, and not only once it's going, but even to be accepted, not just anybody can get in who wants to. You have to be vetted. Tell me more about that process.
So it was pretty interesting. Like, you just had to apply through an email, and it's like generally like a regular
like an
interview
application,
process.
like a job interview or a job application first, but then.
And then you have to go and interview and with the director and Mr. Dorek, and it was a pretty cool process because it was, again, like a job.
Yeah, well, what good practice. I mean, that means that later in life, that won't be your first job interview you ever went through. You've had some practice at it.
Yeah.
That's terrific. Tell us more about the student-run business that people might be interested in knowing about.
Yeah, so there's multiple different positions. There's kind of, if you're interested in anything in the business world or in the trades, there's a spot for you. We have students that are more like our engineers, and they're more tech savvy. They do certain projects, and then there's other students that are kind of more into the trades, and like they'll be down making the beanbag boards and doing all the stuff with the CNC machine. And then there's kind of like the more office, like business desk jobs that Kayla and I do. As the office manager, then she's the communications director. So it's just kind of interesting to just see how we all work together to, get the job done.
Yeah, boy, that is real hands-on, real-world experience. I think that's just terrific. And this is the first year?
Yes, this is the first year. Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Any stories about kind of some of the learning curve, some of the growing pains that go into a first ever effort?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we all came in, I don't want to say blind, but we were super excited. We wanted to know what projects we were going to be doing, what progress will be made. And I know that a lot of us came in not knowing each other as well. I know Carly and I came into it kind of going all 3 years of high school, not really talking to each other. And ever since we came in, we've become super close. It was such a good bonding experience, and it makes you so much more sociable, so much more personable. And yeah, I mean, we've had some little roadblocks. I know that making our website and getting marketing out there has been really exciting. But yeah, we we have really persevered, and I'm super excited to see who comes in next. And
Yeah, and I think
continues.
that's a great part of the learning process is how
course.
you handle things and they don't go according to plan, because life is not always going to go according to plan. It's what you
Right.
do after that I think really defines the successful person. It's not getting through life unscathed or undefeated. It's about what you do when those things come up. So yeah, websites are going to crash. There are going to be difficulties with the supply chain, or being able to hire enough qualified employees, and you're getting that experience now. I'm just curious to know, without being too nosy, each of you, what are your career ambitions, and how do you feel that the student-run business experiences has served you?
Yeah, so I'm going to lacrosse in the fall for sports management, and I think that the student-run business has definitely increased my independence. You're not getting an assignment. He's not waiting for you to turn in this essay or turn in this worksheet. You need to get the job done. You kind of make your own deadlines. He'll give you a hard deadline, but if you choose to not show up or kind of just slack off and then leave it all to one day, that's on you. You got to make your deadlines. You decide when you are going to work and how much, and it's just kind of reward, that's good for college. You're going to need to, make your own deadlines. Nobody's going to be there holding your hand.
How about you, Kayla?
Yeah, I'm planning to study social sciences on a track. I'll talk about this later, but I'm on a track to become a political reporter. Really excited about that. And just to add on to what Carly is saying, it is your own job. It is your responsibility to get the job done, but you also have to remember that other people are depending on you to get that job done. So if there is a lack of communication, or if there is a delay in time, that's affecting everybody else. And that's kind of a good motivation when coming into the office every single day. It's kind of I need to get this work done so we can all, keep these smooth order and operations going. So yeah.
How about you, Jacob?
I'm also attending UW lacrosse. Major undecided. I would love to work in sports. I do broadcasting for my school, which I think we're talking about in the next segment, but I would love to do that as a job. It's a tough thing to get into, so just kind of seeing where the road takes me, take every opportunity I can, and yeah, just see where the road leads me.
Great. Now, is this work for credit, or is it strictly an activity?
I'm pretty sure we're getting the credit for
Yeah,
this.
I think we get
I know.
Getting a lot of
once you
yeses.
see-
Yeah, I know we're not getting paid, but no, this is
That's the running joke on Student-Run Business.
just for the experience, for sure.
That's fantastic. We need to take a quick break right here. We've having a great time talking with our friends at the Columbus School District. We need to take a break, but we'll be right back. You're listening to Community Comment on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
In the Daily Dodge TV studios, here's Terry Bell.
Thank you so much, Jake, and welcome back, everyone, to Community Comment. Our guests today are from the Columbus School District, and we have been having just a terrific conversation, and we'd like you to be a part of it. If you have a question or a comment for any of our guests, you can call or text 920-887-9595, or you can call the WBEV studio line at 885-4446, and we welcome Tim Dworak. He is the Career and Technology Education Coordinator at Columbus. I keep calling it Columbus High School. Thanks so much, Tim, for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So one of the real exciting things that you do at Columbus High School is live stream and broadcasting. Got off to a couple of games. A couple of games were streamed live, and I understand that's an effort that's going to continue growing.
Yeah, I think we're in year 2 now of our growth, and the first year we had a couple students that were interested in exploring the opportunity of seeing other districts do this stuff, and hey, why can we do this? Can we provide this for our student athletes? And I said, let's figure it out, and we kind of problem solved through the issues, what equipment was needed, and if we had it, or how much it would cost to get it. And then we got a couple broadcasts up for basketball and volleyball 2 years ago. And then over the summer, we've done some really good campaigning, some fundraising and things like that to help upgrade equipment and upgrade our production side of things.
Mm-hmm. It seems to me that this would be a great area to teach young people about, because not only is it good for people who maybe want to get in careers in media like television or radio or anything like that, but no matter what line of work you're in, it seems like you're expected to be making your own content to help promote it on different social media platforms.
Yep.
And this would be teaching a lot of the same skills that you'll need for that.
Absolutely, and I think we've kind of integrated it a little bit with our video production class. And then we've had a group of kids, we call ourselves the Nest Broadcasting, student broadcast team, and we've just had, I think we have a group of about 12 to 15 students that work on all aspects of things, whether it's the setup and tear down, the producer for the actual event, the commentators for the event. We have extra camera people. We're able to have multiple camera angles now. We do have some people that work on graphics and the pre-production types things. So we have expanded it and have a pretty good group of kids that are involved right now. We are losing a really good group of seniors, and we have some pretty big shoes to fill because they've done a really nice job the last 2 years building up the program to where it is right now.
Mm-hmm. Kayla and Jacob, what has your involvement been with this?
So every Friday we do announcements during our kind of like flex period. It's about 30 minutes, and my co-star, Kaylee Price, and I, we do announcements every single Friday, and we kind of just inform the school, let them know what's going on, games, sports, clubs, meetings, things like that, or college visits. It's a super awesome way to inform everybody, and I bet it's amazing for kids to see familiar faces when hearing things like that. And Kaylee and I are able to have fun with it, and we were even able to do a segment called Keeping Up with the Cards, where a couple of other students could go around and interview, and that was really amazing. And yeah, I guess I'll turn it over to Jacob for sports.
Yeah, so I do sports casting. I'm more play-by-play, which is super fun. Like, you get to show up early to games, and I do sideline interviewing too sometimes. It's super fun. You know, I don't really see it as like a club or something I have to do. It's fun to do, to, you know, hop on the mic and talk about my friends who are playing basketball or playing football. It's a really neat experience doing it for high school at a high school level, and I'm friends with all the people that are on the court or on the field.
Well, it reminds me of what they say, find something you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Right. So it sounds like you're getting that opportunity, as you both have ambitions to work in media in your careers, and you get to start doing that in high school instead of having to wait until college or after.
Yeah,
for sure, absolutely. Mr. Dworak, why don't you tell us a little bit more about some of the technical assistance that you provide to the students?
When we talk about live stream stuff, we were able to get the equipment that we needed. We had to upgrade to a MacBook this past year because we stream via Huddle. A lot of the schools in, I should say, state and nation right now use Huddle platform for streaming and for just recording games and things like that for scouting purposes and stats. So we upgraded our MacBook. We had to upgrade that production side. Then we also went out, I know Kayla was part of it, Jacob was part of it. We all went out to some local businesses to try to garner some sponsorships, and we're able to get some really significant contributions from the athletic boosters in Columbus, the backcourt club, the girls backcourt club, the boys courtside club, and the football organization. And then we also were awarded a grant from the Columbus Area Endowment for $6,000 to help upgrade equipment and increase our production. So, you know, we got some waterproof cases to transport equipment. Instead of making 30 trips back and forth with our hands full, we have 2 cases full of our equipment now where we can set up, tear down pretty easily for our production side of it. And then upgrade some cameras, get some wireless connectors so we can have multiple camera angles and things like that. So,
You just had a fantastic opportunity going to Lambeau Field in Green Bay to network with other young media professionals and also professionals who are in a position to maybe help you in your careers later. Tell me more about the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association event.
It was really cool. You got to go around and meet people that worked in media with Wisconsin sports. My favorite one was the Packers statistician named Tom Hecker. He was telling us some stories, and well, he told us that we can't repeat any of these stories that he told. But it was really cool hearing stories about, you know, the Packers of old and all the different cool stories that he's had and all the cool experience he's had working with the media of the Packers. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was such an amazing opportunity. I know I'm on a track to become a reporter, so I got to be, I got to attend a panel for one of the top reporters from Minnesota, and he talked about how he makes stories and how he can make things that seem negative into very positive things. He even says, like, making chicken soup from chicken poop, and it was such an amazing opportunity to see that and see his old reportings and then compared to the new, and how he's really able to reach people and reach their hearts and their minds. And it really just becomes a huge motivation for me to keep on with that motivation.
I'm glad you said motivation. I would think, and I've attended this myself as a professional, and it's really inspiring if you can't help but come away with that more energized than you were when you came in.
Right.
Yeah. Tell me more about that, please.
Yeah, we went in there obviously already knowing that it was such an amazing opportunity to see college media, sports media, news media, TV media. We got to hear from all kinds of people, and it's so inspiring because even though I'm on a track to do political reporting, it was still amazing to see sports or everyday news, just to open my horizons, broaden my horizons, and make sure that I really know what's out there. It was super informative.
Yeah, it was super informative. It was cool seeing people that had actually succeeded in the field and their stories about how they got to the place that they've gotten. It's, you know, it's a hard field to succeed in, and basically what I took away from it is these people that succeeded, they just took every opportunity they can and said yes to everything.
Yeah, and I would say that's fantastic advice. So I'm glad you to have that experience, and that's a good example, Tim, of, you know, opportunities beyond the classroom and even beyond the campus of the school to learn and inspire.
absolutely. Yeah, we, in the CT department, we have, as a CT coordinator, I oversee students that want to do work-based learning, and we're really heavy with the Department of Workforce Development and CISA 5, who's our consortium, and we try to get some kids involved in the youth apprenticeship program. The youth apprenticeship program has really taken off at Columbus. We had like maybe 3 to 5 kids participating every year before I got into this position, and then we grew to 11 and then 19, and now this year I think we have 22 to 23 students that are leaving the building and going out and experiencing some type of career that they might be interested in, and getting a little bit more in-depth experience than they would have if it was just leaving for like a work-based learning experience or a employability skills type thing. So the youth apprenticeship allows them a little bit more freedom to leave the building and get some on-the-job training.
And it seems like more and more businesses are making those opportunities available. I know in Beaver Dam, a lot of the manufacturers here have apprenticeships for students as young as high school, and it can't help but get people that much further towards their goals.
Yep, and I think the manufacturing side of it is really big in Beaver Dam and Columbus. We have a lot of manufacturers that are willing to hopefully expand their opportunities to the younger generation, since some of their employees are coming on to the end of their careers and they need to fill some of those roles at some point soon. And we're really jumping into the health science field too. We have a lot of students that are certified nursing assistants, dietary aides, residence aides at Home Again, at Columbus Health and Rehab, and we're trying to work with the hospital too as well to get some youth apprenticeships over there.
Yeah, and it seems that that's more and more of a conversation that seems to be evolving in education anymore. Is maybe 40 years ago, everybody had to have a bachelor's degree, but it seems like the conversation now is there are so many different ways to get about what you want, which is, frankly, a happy life.
Exactly, and I think there's, every student has different interests, and if one of their interests is going out and experiencing the trades right away, that's perfect. It's a perfectly acceptable career and can be very successful too. And I think a lot of people, 40 years ago, 20 years ago, even when I was going through high school, it was you had to go to college. But now I think we've shifted that thinking into understanding that you can choose any career and be successful in whatever career you want to do.
Absolutely. Well, the hour flew right by. I want to thank all our friends from the Columbus School District for joining us on Community Comment. I want to thank everybody for listening. You've been listening to Community Comment on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Ashley